For those of you here live, look at that screen at the top right, the window right there. You'll see two little neon looking fellas. And for those of you listening at home, if you haven't watched live, well, you're missing out.
The window may look like your laundry's gotten away, but my God.
It is not your laundry, my friends. It's something altogether strange and paranormal, because this is Morbid Message Monday, brought to you by TechMess. Today, we're talking about a really spooky thing that Matt's been very fascinated with the past couple weeks.
I've actually watched things about the Fresno Night Crawler for a long time.
You put in the work. You're ready for him, man.
Yeah, I've known about him for a long time. I just forgot about him. When I saw some dude on TikTok talking about one, I was like, holy shit, I forgot about those.
Oh, that thing. Those two-legged weird things. I don't know how I hadn't heard about these. Tonight, we're talking about the Fresno Night Crawler, which is our next installment in the Monsters of Folklore series. Many different cultures have what they would call boogeymen, cryptids, or mythological beasts. Tonight, we are taking you, kindly viewer/listener, to the bustling city of Fresno, California, where another worldly creature has been spotted walking through the night. Though its sightings have been few and far between, this cryptid has been seen on surveillance footage, as well as some eyewitness accounts. Tonight, we explore just what exactly is the Fresno Night Crawler in the third installment of our series on Monsters of Folklore. Welcome to Morbid Message Monday with Matt and
Jake. I'll find something good for that. I'll find something good.
You know, something like that.
I'm just gonna put like a crazy ass trumpet in the background.
Fly to the bumblebee.
Jazz music.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna take some water.
You gonna take some water?
I'm gonna drink it. This is a Morbid Message Monday, brought to you by Mandrake. So, the Fresno Nightcrawler, also known as the Fresno Alien, is an interesting case. It was a creature who was first spotted in Fresno, California, thus its name, but then spotted again in Yosemite National Park. And then it was also spotted in Carmel, Ohio, kind of, in a way.
It's weird the way the accounts line up. So technically it was discovered and publicized in California.
In California.
But the first recorded sighting of this thing, I can't fucking... I'm having a really hard time. Yeah. The first recorded sighting of it was actually in Ohio, but the sighting itself is, while it's similar to what it's normally like referred to as, it was still different. Like there were several things that they said about the sighting in Ohio that made it very different. But yeah, so the one in Ohio was taller, so it was a taller creature.
Yeah, it is different.
Yeah, it still had the same features.
There have also been claims that it's been seen as far away as Poland.
Yeah, there was video from Poland.
Now, this creature like doesn't have any stories or of abductions or murders, or like when it like grabs a straw and it puts it through your ear, sucks your brain out through your ear.
Turns into
doesn't
a
have
fucking
anything where it grabs
lampshade.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have anything where it grabs a branding iron and puts it down your throat, watches you die. Yeah, it's just there. It's just something that's been like, it exists and it just walks into the night. In fact, it could be seen as kind of adorable if it wasn't so paranormal.
I think it's weird that people like automatically saw it and they're like, that thing's kind of fucking cute. I'm gonna make it
kind of adorable. No,
it's like
true.
When you look up the Fresno Nightcrawler, it just comes up with a bunch of weird like anime style like drawings of it.
Chibi drawings.
Like chibi drawings, and I'm like, why are we making this cute?
I mean, why? Because it's not scary necessarily.
I don't know. I would be kind of freaked out if that thing was wobbling towards me in the night.
I'd for sure be unnerved.
Right?
Like, don't get me wrong. I would
you
not
guys
be like,
see it in the window. You see how that thing walks. I'd be freaked out.
I wouldn't be like Jazz, like, oh yeah, dude, hell yeah, freaking Fresno Nightwalker.
See the fucking Fresno Nightcrawler? Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. I keep saying Nightwalker too.
I kept saying that too.
Which means like the Fresno prostitute. So let's not call it. Oh my god, that. So
that's good.
The Fresno Night Crawler. And again, I mean, there have been several sightings, and we have on record here, it looks like quite a few of them. So I'm going to go over some of the sightings, and then we'll get into like some of its mythos and lore. You know, is it real? Is it fake? Is it, you know, is it a piece of cake? All right. The first recorded sighting of the Fresno Night Crawler was recorded on December 12th, 2014. The witnesses were a 60-year-old farmer marine.
Farmer. And they probably were farmers.
I'm a farmer marine. I already saw some shit. Now I'm a farmer. Anyway, doesn't matter. And his wife. They claim to have come over a hill to see a 7-foot-tall, slender gray creature walking in the distance. Now, this is now known as the Carmel area creature. The unnamed witness was quoted as saying the following. First of all, that's an alien. That's not, I mean, that's a gray. That's a gray.
7 feet tall.
That's a gray.
Yeah. It's,
you know, because there's like the men in black, which are like 10 feet tall, but the grays are like 7 to 8, I think.
Well, and this guy's like account of it, like it doesn't really add up entirely to like the same thing. The only thing that was similar was the fact that they said that it was 2 legs.
Okay. All right. I mean, well, here's what we're going to do. Since it's a farmer marine, and I've dubbed it so, he's going to have a farmer accent. We recently bought a place in Fort Hill area in southeast Highland County. We first noticed after about 30 days of living here that we suddenly have a perfect circle that stays fresh green. No matter what weather in our front yard, on Friday night, the 12th, we were driving home. After turning on Carmel Road, which leads to our road, we went around the curve by the Carmel Church and then up a small incline approximately 10 feet over the incline, and in front of our truck, the alien ran across the road and into the woods. Now, this one is what many call like a lone Ohio thing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're alone, whatever.
You saw it.
Yeah.
He didn't record it. Like, this was just him saying, I saw some big, tall motherfucker run across the street.
I saw a big, tall man over there, man. It was terrifying, man. But this is the only sighting of it in Ohio. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, that was the only one in Ohio.
And it's not necessarily in the Fresno Nightcrawler, but it's certainly in this vein, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not like we could do a whole area on the Carmel area creature. Slenderman, yeah, that could be
Slenderman, yeah.
Could be Slenderman, which would be terrifying. Now, the first sighting that led to actual visual evidence and naming of the creature happened in good old Fresno, California, when a man by the name of Jose was woken from his sleep by his barking dogs in the middle of the night. Jose ran to his cameras to see if something was happening in his front yard, and there they were. He then woke his brother to have him re-watch and verify what he had seen. His brother later claimed that there were in fact small footprints outside that were washed away by a storm before investigators could arrive. But this footage is actually still available today.
And it's weird because they have like toe feet. So they got like these 3 toes that they walk on.
Toe feet.
They got little toe feet. So they you know, they do the shuffle through your yard and they leave little toe feet footprints.
Like Squidward. Like I just picture like Squidward's feet.
Squidward's feet. Yeah. But no, this was the guy, right? Like, he's the one who recorded the video that most people know as the Fresno Nightcrawler. And
yeah,
if you watch the video, it's the one where it's aiming towards the yard. There's a tree. It's kind of black and white, and a single one just kind of walks towards the camera and then off screen.
Which is scary, like, no doubt.
A little creepy.
Spoopy. Like, that's pretty spoopy. I'd be a little
freaked out if I saw it on my camera and was like, well, shit.
You're like,
I'm not going outside anymore.
The Porteño Nightwalker, bro. Or Nightcrawler, not Nightwalker. Different thing. Doesn't matter. And I'm thinking of Night Stalker, like Richard Ramirez.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Who is a terrible person.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I find it interesting. Like, there's not a whole lot of sightings, but like, this is the one that matters the most.
Well,
like,
and there's more. There's more than most cryptids, right? So
sure.
Like, you've got at least 3 videos of these things.
Like, you have more of this than the Jersey Devil.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yes. Struck up with that.
Yes, absolutely. Now, the question that kind of comes to mind for me personally is, when I saw the flyer that Matt made today, by the way, good job, Matt.
Thank you.
I saw like a Lovecraftian horror with all the eyes and all that.
Yeah.
Now, is that a realistic, like...
So that's just one of the many depictions, because like nobody really knows what these things actually look like.
Sure. I mean, they've only been in the night.
So right. So most of the concepts revolve around a weird, so it's a very small torso up top. So it's kind of like a bean-shaped torso with 2 legs. And the legs are kind of like reversed. So cute. So the legs are reversed, so like it's got a really long like thigh and then a shin that is like pushed forward, and it like flips forward as it walks. But I mean, there's so many different depictions of it, because like some of them are like, oh, it's kind of like a ghost with a trail, or like some sort of veil that walks over it, or it's some sort of like garb, like dress.
Yeah.
And then other people are like, nah, this is just straight up this weird fleshy thing with eyes. So nobody really,
weird fleshy thing with eyes.
Right. Nobody really knows.
What I go for.
The only thing you really can see in the video footage is that they're wearing some sort of like cloak, because it like shuffles as they're walking.
Now, they're claimed to be like a humanoid alien, and that walks through the night. Not much is known about what they are or why they're here, and the creature's also well known as a tall, slender humanoid with a small torso and long legs, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of these are usually pretty short as well, right? Like
yeah,
short,
so
like 3 to 5 feet.
They're usually 3 to 5 feet. So 5 feet being the tallest one, and then the smaller ones are usually like 3 feet. 3 feet, like 1.5 feet. Very tiny. They're little guys. Little guys.
Ooh, the little guy. Now, one report claimed to have seen one on a very blurry video, and later claimed to have found a deer carcass near where it was. So maybe these are violent.
So
maybe they are attacking.
It's interesting, because after I wrote this, I actually found a video on History Channel that talked about this very incident. Mm-hmm. And they broke the video down and they looked at it and everything like that. And they couldn't really figure out.
History Channel.
Yeah, I know. They couldn't really figure out what the hell it was, but he did explain, like, he found a stripped deer carcass. Like, it was just bones. So whatever killed the deer carcass managed to completely strip it overnight and eat everything and just leave behind bones.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, these are supposedly not super violent, but
right.
I mean,
well, and we don't know if they're super violent, because we only see them walking through the night. There
have also been like links to Native American legends, right? Mm-hmm. With these, and the legends stated these creatures were actually here long before us, and they evolved to walk through their boggy homes in swamps. They're referred to as peace bringers, or creatures that have joined our world in order to rebuild a connection between us and nature. There's no evidence of this really existing thus far, but I mean,
it's a super cool concept. Apparently, the Native American thing was kind of disproved, unfortunately.
Oh, was it?
But there's a lot of, if you look at like, there's I forgot what native tribe it was, but there's a lot of like their outdoor art looks a lot like these things.
That's it. Well, maybe it hasn't been disproved.
Right, and so they're really tall trees that are usually carved to look like these 2-legged creatures with eyes walking through the bogs. And that was their whole story, were these creatures that came out of the bogs at night and walked the earth to reconnect us with nature.
Hey, man.
Or shred deer to pieces.
It's funny, because those are 2 very different things. One is destroying nature.
Right.
And one is nature. One is becoming nature. Isn't that interesting?
Right, exactly.
Now, we all want to know where they are, and I think it's pretty obvious. But the Fresno Night Crawler is actually seen pretty often in Boston, Massachusetts. In fact, it's never been spotted in California. It's only ever been spotted in Boston and the Northeast. They call it the Fresno Night Crawler, because somebody from Fresno was actually visiting Boston at the time that they saw it, and they were like, "Oh, I'm from Fresno. Fuck this whole Boston thing, dude. This is Fresno night crawlers, you know?"
You're full of shit.
Yeah, no, it's 100% not true. The Nightcrawler has actually been seen in Fresno, California, and Yosemite National Park.
Yeah, there was another security footage.
The one that's up there, isn't it?
Yeah, of the one in Yosemite. So all three instances of like these things showing up.
Dad, I'm so sorry. I was totally bullshitting that entire thing.
In Fresno. But yeah, all three instances of these things have actually been like recorded, and they're on the internet for you to watch.
Yeah, they are, and you can actually see the footage up in the top right in the window right there as well.
Yep. The one in the window is the one from Yosemite. So that was the one that was captured on like a trail cam. Mm. And then the other one was captured in the guy's yard. And then the other one was captured on the second story of another guy's house where he was looking down and it was kind of walking through.
Spoopy. X1 means like +1, like I'll take one.
Yeah.
You know, one of those pepperoni pizzas.
Yeah.
That you're talking about, and Matt, you're going to cut this part out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're talking about pizza. 33 minutes in.
Now, the furthest reported sighting of the you wrote furthest reported spotting.
Oh shoot, I did.
I'm glad I auto-corrected your writing in my head.
That's good.
The furthest reported fucking Jesus.
You can't speak either.
Reported sighting of the creature was in Poland. Again, recorded on a very blurry night vision camera. There are plenty of non-footage and non-recorded claims of seeing the creatures, though many are proved to be fakes or hoaxes.
And they apparently disproved the. I think they disproved the one in what do you call it?
Poland.
But not Poland.
Yosemite.
Yosemite. Yeah, I think they disproved the one in Yosemite.
How?
They were able to recreate it perfectly. I guess, you know, that's what people have time to do with their lives.
Fucking Z-Rimmers over here.
God damn it.
The Nightcrawler itself has been the center of many hoaxes, and many believe it to be completely disproved altogether. Now, these range from the hilarious walking pants theory, where they're just walking pants, or to the more elaborate pulley system. Though interestingly enough, the first recording of the Fresno Night Crawler still has not been proven as a hoax. Mm-hmm. Many have attempted to recreate it, but none have actually succeeded, which is kind of cool.
So the first one they tried to disprove with the pulley system. So they set up like this elaborate, they set this elaborate bullshit up to disprove. And I'm like, who the fuck would have the time to do that?
Yeah, why would you do that? Right? Like,
right. And it still didn't look anywhere near close to like the actual video of it. Like it is so weird and like ghostly as it walks through the guy's yard that it just, they can't figure out how to disprove it.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, and also it's a lot of work to go through for just to make some random video.
Work to go through it.
Like, you know, and it's so outlandish. Like, did somebody write this story? Like, oh, the Fresno Night, we're going to come up with this and we're going to make it look like a pair of walking pants. It just seems a little weird. I mean, don't get me wrong. People do weird art experiments and shit all the time. But
of course. But like, I mean, you know, I think you got crop circles and things like that. But this is one of those ones where I'm like, yeah, I could totally see it being a possibility because it's just so outlandishly weird.
Yeah.
And so hard to disprove.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But, I mean, it's pretty hard to disprove a lot of these, but you know, I don't know. This one's the one that like has the most like concrete evidence against it.
Yeah, exactly, and that makes it a little different. And especially like you said, it's a cryptid that does have quite a bit of.
It's not like the Tianak. It's not like the Tianak. It's not like the weird demon umbrella, the Obake.
No,
it's actually got quite a bit to support its existence, and that's why it's kind of cool.
Now, with everything we've learned about the Fresno Nightcrawler, we still know very little. The creature walks through the night with no real purpose or motive. It's become sort of like a pop culture creature by this point, where most people depict it as like a cute, innocent little chibi guy just hanging out. Maybe people are tapping into what it's actually there for. Just to bring us closer to nature. They just see it as cute. They're like, oh, I want to go outside because that thing exists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I don't know. But they just picked it wandering with offspring. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Now,
each time they're spotted, they're usually spotted in twos. So there's always the tall one and the little offspring one. So they're thinking that it's like a parent-child relationship going on there.
It's a little baby.
Little baby.
Little baby.
Baby cryptid.
Now, others want to believe it's a creature with a much, much more monstrous side. And with that, we end our story on this cryptic cryptid, this maniacal monster, this mysterious mystery. I don't know. That wasn't my best work. We may never know what it really does or is, or even if it exists. But thus far, I actually want to see more evidence, and I want to see more reportings, because I want this thing to be real.
Wouldn't it be cool if it was real? I mean, it'd be kind of terrifying, but it'd be kind of cool because,
I feel like we've seen it. We would have seen it more places by now.
I feel like, yeah. Well, and everyone and their mother has cameras now, so it's like, why haven't we seen more of it? So
there should be more spottings for sure.
It's one of those things. Maybe
it could also just be like those couple of sightings are the only times it's ever been seen, or just that one time, and it truly is alien life coming down. Like,
or if it is these weird bog demons, then like they come out when they need to come out.
That's true.
They don't come out all the time.
Well, yeah, that's literally in their lore.
Right.
Or they could be like the Native American, legend, which would also be great.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. But that is where we leave you on the Fresno Night Crawler. However, I do have one question for all of you. 2 questions. 3 questions. Do you believe it's real, or is it fake? Now, is it just pants? Or is it like a swamp dwelling demon? I don't know. What do you guys think? I actually would like to know. We'll read some of your answers before we end this episode.
I want to believe it's real.
Yeah.
Possible or plausible?
I mean, there are 2 different scenarios there, right? I mean, plausibility and possibility.
Totally.
But I think... I don't know. I mean, this one could be real. It could be the case that, like, really, truly, it's an alien.
I feel like most people who read about it are just like Z. Like, I want it to be a real thing,
but it's not.
Because, like, can you imagine a world where you just wake up in the middle of the night, you're getting water or something, you look at your street, and this little thing is just
look, it's Jerry
wobbling through. It's Jerry. We named it.
Hell yeah, dude! If I saw Fresno Nightwalker in my yard, I'd name it Julio.
I don't think I'd be comfortable seeing it walking
Jerry,
through.
Julio
has a name now. Yeah, and we've named it. It's ours.
Yeah, Jerry and Julio. Jerry Julio. Actually, his middle name is Julio.
That's funny.
Julio, whatever.
The guy who's about to do our roof, his name is Julio. Very nice.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh yeah, you're getting a new roof, man. You're fancy.
Yeah, man.
You're so fancy.
So I'll tell Julio
you're just
about the Nightcrawler.
Julio, Jerry, Martina Juarez. I was thinking, I don't know why Juarez.
Martina Juarez. Oh man, yeah, I want it to be real. I think it would be kind of cool if it was a real one.
It's Julio Jerry Francisco.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's his name.
Yeah,
and you should believe. I mean, even if you don't think it's real, you can still believe, right? I mean, there's other things that people leave that alone. Anyway, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Morbid Message Monday. Don't forget to follow us at twitch.tv/tech_mess. As this episode is being recorded, we are 1 follower from the big 700. So
we are. It's crazy.
That's kind of neat. Our following goal is 750. So we're getting ever the closer. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, both for Tech Mess and for Morbid Message Monday. The link tree is in the description of every one of these podcasts and videos.
Yeah.
Make sure you go follow us on all the things. And yeah, I think that's it, right, man?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, 750 is not the Pocky One Chip Challenge.
No, it is not. It absolutely is not.
What was that? Was that 400? That was 400, wasn't it?
No, it was.
That was 70
concurrent. That was 75 concurrent subscribers.
70 subs. Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, and I'm not gonna do that again.
Yeah, you guys had to pay for that. That was.
It's really, truly awful. It was so rough.
So you were gonna eat the chip. Well, we just buy it.
Yeah. We just carry it. Here it is, guys. Just tease people with it. Look, guys, maybe one day.
Maybe someday if you're really good.
One of these days. But I hope you have a great day, night, evening, whatever happens to be that you're having, kindly viewer / listener, and well,